Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining me right now. My name is Jacob from jacobteacher.com and welcome to my YouTube channel. I do live lessons on this YouTube channel quite regularly. And if this is your first time, you can really help me out by giving me a thumbs up, click the like button, and if you know some of your friends who are studying English, someone in your life who's studying English and would benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. It's always a pleasure to speak with more people. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you download my free ebook, 4 Things You Must Do to Get Better at Speaking English. The link to that is in the description below. Lanya says hello. Hello, Lanya. Thanks for joining again. Alan says hello. It's great to see both of you here again. Thank you so much. Looks like the regulars are back, so that's great. So here are the rules for today. In some of my lessons, I like to focus on grammar, and I think that's very important for obvious reasons. Today, not so much. Today, I don't want to focus on grammar too much. Today, the goal for you, today's rule, is you should try and express yourself as best you can, okay? I'm going to ask you questions, and I just want you to not worry so much about grammar. Just try and express yourself. Now, there's a reason for this. We want to be flexible with our language. Whenever you're learning a new language, flexibility is really important. To be flexible, it means to be able to bend freely. So in this context, I mean, you want to be able to say something in many different ways, okay? So you want to be flexible with your language. You want to be able to communicate thoughts, communicate ideas in a variety of different ways. That is one thing that is really important when you're learning a new language, one way that you can master a language, okay? And trying to be creative with your language, trying to answer questions creatively, that helps kind of train that area of your brain. So it allows you to think outside of the box. That's a common English idiom, to think outside of the box. So I hope to do a lot of that today. I'm going to ask you questions, answer them creatively, and just don't worry too much about grammar. Gan says hello. Pleasure to see you. Alan, I am happy you're here too, my friend. Good to see you. Okay? So today we are going to look at 3 inspiring quotes, 3 inspiring English quotes from 3 inspiring people. Inspiring is an adjective. It means to make you feel good. It kind of lifts you up. So if you're having a bad day, if you're in a bad mood for whatever reason, hopefully these quotes will make you feel a little better. And hopefully you'll learn some things about English too from reading these quotes. So, and again, if you have any questions, if you're just joining me now, feel free to type them in the chat box. I will respond as best I can. The first person we are going to talk about today is a woman named Oprah Winfrey. Now, Oprah Winfrey, she is extremely famous. She became famous for being, she was a talk show host. She hosted her own talk show, and it was highly, highly successful, very, very popular. She once said that if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. Okay, so it's kind of a strange quote here. Let's explain it a little bit. I'll read it again. If you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. I'm going to tell you what this quote means to me, okay? Oprah Winfrey here, to me, she's talking about where we choose to focus our attention in life, okay? So she's talking about things that we have in life and things that we don't have. In life, as we live, as we go through this life, things happen to us, right? And we we have to respond to these things. So for example, if I go to the store and someone is rude to me there, let's imagine an example. Well, I have to respond to it in one way, right? And maybe that means that I would think about how that person was rude to me, and I would think about it for a long, long, long time. But when we do that, when we focus on one thing, it comes at a cost because there are many things that we are not focusing on. We can only focus our attention on so many things. So we always have to make these choices in life. And for me, this is what Oprah Winfrey is talking about in this quote. She's talking about what we choose to look at in our lives, the things that we have or the things that we don't have. I made a little diagram for you here. So this flashlight, imagine this flashlight represents your attention, where you look, okay? All of us, hopefully, if we are lucky enough, we have health in our lives. We are reasonably healthy. We are not sick. We're not ill. We're reasonably healthy. Hopefully, we have family, friends, people who care about us in our lives. And hopefully, we're not starving. We have enough food to eat. We can buy food and not starve to death. So these are things that all of us hopefully have in our lives. They're also things that many of us take for granted. There is a great English phrase that you hear very, very often, a natural English phrase, take for granted. Take for granted means we don't fully appreciate something, or we don't properly appreciate something. So we have these things in our lives: good health, people who care about us, and food. And she's saying if we look at that, so imagine you're looking at these things, you realize how much you have, how many things you have in your life that you are lucky for. On the other hand, if you choose to focus on things that you don't have, and all of us do this very often, I myself too, I'm guilty of this. You know, maybe we'll think about a new car that we want, how we want to have more money, better clothes, a new house. Well, that list can go on and on and on and on because we will always be comparing ourselves to other people who have more than us. So, to me, that's what she's talking about in this quote. It's about where we focus our attention, where we look, how we appreciate the things that we have in our life. When I read this quote this morning, it made me feel really grateful for a lot of the things that I have in my life. I have a few questions for you. What is something you don't have right now that you want to have? Why do you want it? And also, what is something that you have right now that you are grateful for? Grateful means thankful. Okay, so you're happy that you have this thing in your life. You feel lucky that you have it. So these are two questions that I have for you. While I'm waiting for you to respond, I'll tell you my own answers. So something that I don't have right now that I want to have is a new camera. I want to buy a better camera so that I can record videos in higher quality so that you can watch me with higher quality videos. So a new camera, that's something that I want right now. Something that I'm grateful for. Well, I'm very grateful for my girlfriend and the friends that I have. I'm living in Korea at the moment, if you don't know, and it can be hard to be away from your family, living in another country. I don't have my family here. I'm very fortunate and I feel very grateful for the fact that I have a very loving girlfriend and very loving friends that I really appreciate and that make me feel good, and I'm very grateful for that. So tell me, and again, don't worry so much about the grammar. Try and challenge yourself. Express yourself as best you can, and I will correct your sentences if there are mistakes. I will try my best to correct your sentences. And hearing a native English speaker kind of rephrase a sentence in a more natural way, I think that it's a great help. It can show you some things that you would not have otherwise understood. So let me just check on the comment section. Okay. Take for granted. Lanya, that's right. Yes, you are right about that. Take for granted. Okay, so when you take something for granted, you don't fully appreciate that thing. So all of us, for example, we take the internet for granted now. Like 20, 30 years ago, the internet wasn't a thing at all, right? We didn't have this ability to talk to each other. Now we take the internet for granted. We don't really appreciate it. We don't really think. We can't even imagine what life would be like without the internet. So that's how you use the phrase take for granted. Alan says, that's why many people say if you want to be satisfied in your life, don't look at people who are higher in education or wealth or better than us, because it might make us envy or feel down. Yes, Alan, it's a good idea too, I think. Too often we compare ourselves to other people, and well, bad things can happen if we start to envy other people and become jealous of other people. Of course, sometimes other people can motivate us too to be better. When you see someone who's really working hard, who's really doing great things, it can motivate you too. So sometimes comparing yourself to others can be good also. Alan says, I always loved to be smart and intelligent, but I think I'm not, but at least I'm in normal range of people. Alan, it's the fact that you can express yourself in another language that's not your own is amazing. So great work. And yeah, don't worry about that. You're doing just fine, my friend. So keep up the good work. And for other people, if you're watching right now, try and answer these questions. What is something you don't have right now that you want to have? Why do you want it? And what is something that you have right now that you are grateful for? So keep telling me your answers to this question. I'm going to move on. Also, if you're watching the replay, you feel free to answer these questions in the comment section, and I will get back to you. Okay? So the second person that I want to talk about, I imagine that most of you are familiar with this person. His name is John Lennon. And John Lennon once, well, he was a member of the Beatles, of course. He was tragically killed. He was assassinated by a man, murdered in the streets, and he died too young. So let's look at this quote. This is a longer paragraph, but I really, really love this quote. When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life. So kind of there's some humor in this quote here. It's really such a beautiful quote. He goes to school. His mother always tells him the most important thing, the key to life, which we will talk about in a second, the key to life is happiness. So the most important thing in life is happiness. And so his teachers, they ask him to write down for his homework assignment, what do you want to be when you're older? Now, when you ask someone this question, what do you want to be? It means, what do you want to do for a profession? What do you want to do for your job? And John Lennon writes down, I want to be happy. The teachers don't understand. What do you mean you want to be happy? That's not the assignment. That's not what we are asking you. So they think that he doesn't understand the assignment, and he says they don't understand life. So it's a really beautiful quote. Quite funny. The key to life, I have that underlined and in bold here. And the key to life is something that you're going to see a lot in English. It's not just the key to life, but we use it to say the key to success, key to a woman's heart, maybe, key to happiness. And I want you to think about this in terms of what a key does. So a key allows you to enter another place. It allows you to enter a different area, right? And sometimes you need a key to get to another place. So that's what this phrase kind of means. A key to life. It's something that allows you to achieve or understand something. So John Lennon's mother says the key to life is happiness, meaning if you are happy, that will allow you to live life to the fullest. It'll allow you to live a good life. That's the key to life. If you are happy, you can have a good life. Many people say that the key to success is hard work. So again, imagine success over here. Imagine a door and the key. If you work hard, eventually you can open that door and you'll be successful. So this is a very, very common phrase. You'll see this a lot. The key to life, key to success. Many people say the key to a woman's heart is poetry. So many women love poetry. Many people say if you read a woman poetry, her heart will open up. You'll have her heart. So that's one way. Another question for you. In your opinion, what is one key to happiness? What is one key to happiness? So imagine happiness is over here. What is one thing you need to do? What is one key that if you do this thing, it will allow you to be happy in life? I'll give you an example. For me personally, one key to happiness is exercise. So to physically exhaust yourself, to exhaust your body with hard physical work. I think that human beings were meant to work really, really hard physically and to drain our body of energy each day to a reasonable degree. But for me, when I'm physically active, when I'm working out regularly, it allows me to be happy. It helps me feel good about myself. So what is one thing in your life? What is one key to happiness for you? Okay. Sadawat says, hello. Thanks for joining, Sadawat. Okay. Winnie says, I think I have the best boyfriend right now. He accepts my bad temper and any other bad habit. And the most important is he takes me to work every day. So I'm so grateful that I have met him in my life. Winnie, I'm very happy for you. That's great. It's really awesome to have someone who you can live life with in that way, someone who can support you and help you in that way. So that's really great. Thank you for the comment. That's really awesome. Lanya says, I'm grateful to have some good friends in my life, and I'm grateful since I know a lot of English native teachers, including you. I really enjoy learning English with you. Lanya, thank you so much, and I'm grateful to have a lot of students like you who are willing to sit down with me here and listen to me speak. So thank you so much. Alan says, John Lennon's mom gave him the best advice because when you're not happy, your physical power is lower than what are you really expected. Moral happiness has a great impact on your physical power. Yes, so I think what you're talking about here, Alan, is something that's very important, the connection between the mind and the body. Of course, all of us know this. When we are depressed, when we're sad, when we're not feeling so great about ourselves, we feel it physically. You'll feel your muscles are probably more tight. It's harder to get out of bed in the morning. You're more tired, physically exhausted. So yeah, that's a great point, Alan. Really good. To be satisfied with what you have and carry on things gives you inspiration and blessings rather than living in other people's shoes. Okay, great. So yes, is that one key to happiness for you, Alan, is to be satisfied with what you have? I think that's really good too, to appreciate the things that you have in your life. Okay, so that's great. Great comments. Thank you so much, everyone. Keep it up. This is a fun lesson. I'm enjoying this so far. We have another quote from the late, great Bob Marley. Bob Marley was a king of reggae music. He died, again, like so many other musicians and stars, way too young. He died quite young. Now, this is the most difficult quote, I think. Maybe not in terms of your ability to understand it, in terms of the words Bob Marley uses, but it's the deepest quote. I think that there's a lot of meaning in this quote. So I'm curious to know your thoughts. Here it is. I will read it for you. The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just gotta find the ones worth suffering for. Once again, the truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just gotta find the ones worth suffering for. Okay? So what does he mean here? What is Bob Marley talking about? Well, let's start by looking at the word worth. Okay, worth is a very difficult word in English. It means many different things. In this example, the word worth, I want you to think about it like this, okay? So if you do something and the benefits of doing that thing are greater than the cost, then you could say it's worth it to do that thing. So the benefits are greater than the cost, it's worth it. Here's an example. The concert was expensive, but it was worth the money. These are very common natural English phrases too that you're going to see a lot. Okay, so native English speakers use this kind of phrase, using this word worth all the time. It's very common. The concert was expensive, but it was worth the money. So the concert, going to the concert, the experience of the concert, maybe it was a band that you really enjoyed. So everything that was great about the concert, all of the benefits, they outweighed the cost, the expensive ticket. So there were more benefits than there was cost. Okay, and you could say it was worth the money. It was worth how much I paid. For some people, being married can be extremely difficult, but it's worth the pain. So the benefits of having a wife, the benefits of having a husband, security, being able to raise a family, being able to depend on someone else. The benefits of marriage outweigh the costs. For many people, it's worth the pain. All of the arguments, all of the fighting. So we don't always talk about worth in terms of money, we can also talk about it in this way. It's worth the pain, all the fighting and the arguments. Many people, of course, would disagree with that, and that's why there is divorce. And in that case, you could say being married is extremely difficult. It's not worth the pain. So you can make it negative, and that means the cost, how much pain you have, outweighs the benefit. Okay? So let's go back to Bob Marley's quote. The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just gotta find the ones worth suffering for. Okay, so everyone is going to hurt you. What does he mean by that? That is a very strange way of... What does he mean? What is he trying to say? You just gotta is got to, and it means have to in this situation. You have to find the ones. Ones means people here. So you have to find people who are worth suffering for. Everyone is going to hurt you, but if you find people who the benefits of knowing them outweigh the cost, the pain, and the suffering of knowing them, then that's what it's worth. That's something you have to do. So you have to find people for whom it's worth it to suffer. Now, what do you think he means when he says everyone is going to hurt you? It's a very strange idea that everyone in life, even those closest to you, your family members, your closest friends, are going to hurt you. What do you think he means here? Don't be shy. There's no wrong answer here. I'm looking for your opinion. Again, don't worry too much about grammar. This is just about trying to express yourself today in English in any way you can. So tell me what you think he means by this. And also, tell me one thing that you are doing in your life right now that is worth suffering for. So, for example, in my life right now, I'm trying to be an online teacher, as you all know. I'm spending a lot of time preparing these lessons, doing all sorts of things that an online teacher has to do. And there's a lot of suffering that comes with that. I'm very, very tired. I have so much to do. I'm so busy. Technology is very difficult to understand sometimes, and that can be very frustrating. So there's a lot of suffering, but the benefits of being an online teacher. I really enjoy these live lessons. Speaking with you, meeting new people from around the world is great. And one day, I hope to make an income from this. So I hope to be able to support myself with my teaching. So right now, the suffering is worth it. It's all of the suffering, all of the work that I have to do, it's worth it. The benefits outweigh the costs. So tell me something in your life that you're doing right now that is worth suffering for. Don't worry about grammar too much. Just express yourself as best you can. Okay? Okay, we have lots of comments. Winnie says, in my opinion, one key to happiness is don't care how others see you, just be yourself. Care how you see yourself. Very, very great idea there, Winnie. I agree. Don't care how others see you, just be yourself. Here's how I would rephrase that naturally. In my opinion, one key to happiness is to not care about how others see you. Period. Just be yourself. Care about yourself. So you can take care how you see yourself, or see yourself first. Care about yourself first. You could phrase it like that. Okay? Alan says, I think we never get something without working for it, or take suffering something, bring us happiness and success in our life. In other words, no pain, no gain. Okay, well, there's a great idiom. No pain, no gain. You can't gain anything without suffering. I agree, Alan. There's a necessity. We have to suffer. It's part of what it means to be human, and Nothing good in life comes without suffering first. I completely agree with you. Here's how I would rephrase that. So here's a natural way to say that idea. I think that we never get anything in life without suffering first for it. So something that brings us happiness in our lives, when we experience success, we first have to suffer to get there. No pain, no gain, like you said. Alan says, I think the meaning, so you're talking about the Bob Marley quote, catching good criticism and bitterness, some people giving you or trying to hurt you, and you try to fix this weakness into yourself. So, Alan, you're talking about other people kind of insulting you or being unkind towards you. I would challenge you with this. So, imagine someone imagine your mother or someone who is always good to you, someone who never insults you. Because according to Bob Marley, these people will still cause you to suffer. They will still hurt you in some way. So if someone's not insulting you, what's another way that they could hurt you? I have my own idea, which I'll share with you in a minute. Okay, Alan again is trying to lose weight by excessive exercise, but it's worth my efforts. And when I look my body shape and size, it gives me great happiness. That's a really good example, Alan, of something that people that's worth the suffering. Okay, so first of all, good for you. It's really great to hear that you're getting in shape. It's an amazing thing that you can do. Here's how I would rephrase that. I think I'm trying, so losing weight, going to the gym, losing weight, working out, exercising, it's worth the struggle, because when I look in the mirror, when I see my body, it gives me great happiness. You could phrase it like that. Okay? Anyone else, what do you think Bob Marley means with this quote? What do you think he means when he says that everyone in life is going to hurt you? I have my own idea, and why don't I tell you what I think he means, okay? So I believe he means, let me just switch screens here. Okay. So here's what I think he means. Bob Marley. So everyone in our life is going to hurt us in some way. What I think he means is that no matter what, in our life we're going to lose people we love. So imagine the person you love the most. Even if you continue loving them as you do now, even if your relationship continues to be amazing, eventually, and this is very dark, but it's true, eventually everyone you love will die, and you will lose, if you live long enough, you will lose everyone that you love in your life. So in some way, knowing people, being close to people, even the best relationships you have, you're going to suffer because of them in the end. So everyone will hurt you in some way. But if you find people who are worth suffering for, people who make life that much better for you, that much happier, people who give you that satisfaction and really help you through this life, knowing these people, it's worth the suffering. It's worth all the suffering that you will feel when they eventually do hurt you in whatever way they do. So maybe it's true, like Alan says, maybe people will insult you or be unkind to you. Who knows? Relationships change over time. Or maybe you'll have a perfect relationship and then at the end you'll lose that person just naturally, because that's what happens in life. People will hurt you, but if you can find people who are worth suffering for, that makes all of the difference. That's what life is all about. So that's all I have for you today. That's a short lesson, I know. Thank you so much for your comments. It was really a pleasure speaking with you today. And yeah, that is about it. I won't have a live lesson on my YouTube channel until next Tuesday. If you are new here, if you're watching the replay, try and answer these questions in the comments and I will get back to you. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and click the bell button to be notified of when I go live. And if you want, the best way to be in touch with me is to sign up for my mailing list. The way to do that is to download my free ebook, and you will automatically be assigned to my mailing list. You will automatically become a part of that. So download my free ebook. It's in the link below. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for sharing your comments with me, and I hope you found this lesson valuable and that you will continue to find my work valuable. Thank you so much. I'll see you later.